In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NHL games happening on May 8, 2022. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets. As we provide these videos on a daily basis, I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NHL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 2 betting picks a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Minnesota Wild versus St. Louis Blues. The Minnesota Wild and St. Louis Blues will meet up for Game 4 of a tight first-round series. The Wild lost Game 1, but with a 6-2 win in Game 2 and a 5-1 win in Game 3. They have taken the lead and the momentum of this series. The Blues, meanwhile, are hoping to not only even up the series but win Game 4 on their home ice to avoid falling to a 3-1 series deficit. Minnesota is 5-1 in their last 6 games against a team with a winning record and 5-0 in their last 5 Sunday games, while the under is 4-1 in their last 5 games overall. St. Louis is 6-2 in their last 8 home games and 1-7 in their last 8 playoff games as an underdog, while the over is 20-5-1 in their last 26 games against a team with a winning percentage above .600. On the season, the St. Louis Blues have a per-game scoring differential of 0.84 even when playing at home. The team is winning games by an average margin of 0.68 goals. Heading into their game with the Minnesota Wild, the Blues have a 3-2 record over their past 5 contests. In these games, they have scored 21 goals, accounting for 51.0% of the overall scoring. A key to this recent success is the fact that they have outscored their usual output of 3.77 goals per game 3 times. On the other side, the Minnesota Wild have a per-game scoring differential of 0.7. Even when playing on the road, the team is winning games by an average margin of 0.2 goals. Heading into their game with the St. Louis Blues, the Wild have a 4-1 record over their past 5 contests. In these games, they have scored 21 goals, accounting for 58% of the overall scoring. A key to this recent success is the fact that they have outscored their usual output of 3.72 goals per game 3 times. In this matchup, I see St. Louis getting back on track, evening the series at 2-2. As throughout the season the Blues have been excellent on their home ice. I get that Minnesota has been the far better team in each of the last 2 games, and getting them at a coin flip may feel like a bit of a steal here. However, I think they're begging for action on Minnesota at this price, and this is an absolute must-win for St. Louis. You don't want to go back to Minnesota down 3-1 given how well the Wild have played at home all year long. I think we get an inspired effort from St. Louis here and a win at that as well. So the St. Louis Blues money line is our full game side pick. The Wild look to build off a Game 3 where they only allowed 1 goal and limit the Blues' offense with Jonas Brodin, Matthew Dumba, and the rest of the defensive unit creating turnovers in the defensive zone and limiting shots on the net, while Marc-Andre Fleury makes plenty of big saves in the net. The Blues, meanwhile, should eliminate the Wild offense with Justin Falk, Marco Scandella, Colton Parayko, and the rest of the defensive unit forcing turnovers in the neutral zone and defensive zone, while goaltender Ville Husso puts together a remarkable game in the net and blanks the Wild shots in the net. Both the Wild and the Blues defenses have stepped up throughout the series, and both defensive units look to step up and control this game from the opening puck drop. This should be a low-scoring game controlled by both defenses. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Toronto Maple Leafs versus Tampa Bay Lightning. The Toronto Maple Leafs face the Tampa Lightning in Game 4 of the first round, with both teams to build momentum in a back-and-forth series. The Maple Leafs won both games 1-3 and hope to take a commanding 3-1 series lead with hopes of advancing to the second round for the first time since 2004. The Lightning are looking to even up the series, and with Game 4 on their home ice, they can win the game and build momentum before heading back to Toronto for Game 5. Toronto has not won a playoff series since 2004. The Leafs have made the playoffs the last 4 years straight but have lost in the first round each time. Tampa Bay has been inconsistent on offense this series, and Andrei Vasilevskiy has not been his usual stellar self in the net. They took Game 2 but are down 2-1 in the series. After losing Game 3 at home, the Lightning will bounce back in Game 4. They have the playoff history on their side as they are the defending back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. Vasilevskiy has a 2.29 goals against average and .923 save percentage in his playoff career. career. He will get on the right track in Game 4 and will have a big game. Hedman had a great game in Game 2 of the series, recording a goal and 3 assists, but he was pointless in Games 1 and 3 of the series. Stamkos has struggled in this series, recording just 1 assist through the first 3 games. These are not typical playoff performances by these players, and they will get it going. Look for the Lightning to bounce back after losing Game 3 at home, and they will tie the series up at 2. So the Tampa Bay Lightning money line is our full game side pick. The over hit in 7 out of the last 10 meetings between these two teams, including Games 2 and 3 of the playoff series. Toronto has been able to score 5 goals in Games 1 and 3 goals in Game 2. Austin Matthews scored twice and had an assist in Game 1, and he had 2 assists in Game 2. Mitchell Marner scored a goal in Games 1 and 2, and he has 1 assist or more in each of the first 3 games of the series. The Leafs were able to continue rolling on offense as they were excellent all season. Toronto finished the season ranking 2nd in goals per game and 7th in shots per game. Tampa Bay finished the season ranking 7th in goals per game. They have not been as sharp in the series except for Game 2, in which they scored 5 goals. After losing Game 3 and only scoring 2 goals, the Lightning will bounce back on offense in Game 4. They are too stacked on offense to keep struggling. The over hit in Games 2 and 3 in the series, and Toronto did score 5 goals in Game 1. Jack Campbell has been really good so far in this series, but it is unlikely that he can maintain this pace. Tampa Bay just hasn't been great in their first 3 games, but they have time to turn it around. Nikita Kucherov, Steven Stamkos, and Victor Hedman are doing as much as they can to contribute offensively, but it's Tampa's secondary scoring that needs to step up. Toronto's defense isn't amazing, and they are vulnerable to giving up high-quality scoring chances. This game should be filled with scoring chances. That, in the end, should lead to a lot of goals, making this turn out to be yet another higher scoring game. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Edmonton Oilers versus Los Angeles Kings. The Oilers have a 2-1 lead in this playoff series after crushing the Kings in the last 2 games. The Oilers lost Game 1 of this series but took back home ice advantage, winning the last 2 games where they outscored the Kings 14-2. They lit up Los Angeles for 8 goals in the last game, and they are playing with a ton of confidence. The celebration of winning Game 1 of this series on the road has died down for the Kings, who have been throttled in the last 2 games. The team is led by a defense that ranks 2nd in the league, giving up an average of 2.79 goals per game, but that defense has been nowhere to be found in the last 2 games, giving up 14 goals. Edmonton is 7-1 in their last 8 games against a team with a winning record, and 8-1 in their last 9 games after scoring 5 goals or more in their previous game, while the over is 8-1-2 in their last 11 Sunday games. Los Angeles is 1-7 in their last 8 games as an underdog and 1-6 in their last 7 games against a team with a winning record, while the under is 4-1 in their last 5 games as a home underdog. The Oilers have crushed the Kings, outscoring them 14-2 and winning the last 2 games of this series. They have killed it on both sides of the ice in the last 2 games, and they have won their last 4 games facing the Kings in La La Land. Look for that trend to continue on Sunday. Both Los Angeles goalies gave up 4 goals in the last game, while Edmonton's Mike Smith has been great in goal in the last 2 games, only allowing 2 goals. I get the reasoning for backing the Kings as a home dog here, but the thing is that the Kings are starting to show their youth and inexperience, with getting blown away in each of their last 2 games. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl are not guys you want to give any added confidence to as their game changers to begin with, and once they and their cohorts get rolling, they're really hard to stop. The Oilers looked focused on getting redemption after stumbling in last year's playoffs, and I think the Oilers continue their march here today. The Oilers' attack and defense will play well again, and while they may not score 8 goals or pitch a shutout, they will get the win to take a commanding 3-1 series lead. So the Edmonton Oilers money line is our full game side pick. 2 of the 3 games in this series have gone over, and the one that did not, the Oilers scored 6 goals, shutting out the Kings. The Edmonton attack has been on 4 in the last 2 games with 14 goals. I do not see the Kings defense getting back on track, as they have issues in goal with their top 2 goalies each giving up 4 goals in the last game. I do not see the Oilers scoring 8 goals again, but they will get a few, and the Kings will score multiple goals. Because of the precarious situation that Los Angeles finds itself in, you can expect that Peterson will get the start for Los Angeles on Sunday. That may not be much help to this club, as he gave up 4 goals on 20 shots. Plus, the Kings netminder did not close out the season in fine fashion, giving up 6 goals in 2 of his last 3 starts and 3 of his last 7 outings. The Edmonton offense is on fire right now. Consider that they are hitting on 15.2% of their shots, including 19.2% over their last 2 games. They are getting great support from their second and third lines, and Los Angeles Angeles simply cannot match up or compete against that. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.